Okay, so as you can tell, today's video is not like my normal videos, but this is something that you guys have been requesting for months now, and I've just been putting it off basically because my pro kit does not stay at my house. It stays at the studio that I work from. And so for those of you who don't know, I still work as a makeup artist. I have anywhere from 2 to 6 clients a week. And that is good enough for me because makeup artistry is just still part-time for me. I never wanted to pursue it full-time, but I still enjoy doing it part-time. So for those of you who have been asking for this video, the day is finally here. I keep my kit at the studio that I work out of, and the studio I work out of is actually a photographer studio. It's actually my wedding photographer. They have their own studio, and I work for them a few times out of the week doing makeup for their clients. And they were just kind enough to say, like, hey, just leave your stuff up here. You come up here, 3 or 4 times out of the week. Just feel free to leave your stuff up here. And so I'm really fortunate to just have a place that my kit stays at and that I just do makeup out of pretty much full time. So I don't ever really have my pro kit here to share with you guys. I could go take it to the place and film there, but there are kind of adjoining offices, and people just talk and it would just be a mess. So I'm finally breaking down my pro kit in today's video. I am worn out. Like, I mean, do you see the t-shirt? Barely any makeup and flat hair right now. This is going to be a very long video, but you guys asked for it. I hope I broke everything down for you. I just showed you basically the things that I use the most. I know there's a few things that I left out. I know there's a few things you'll probably have questions on, but this is definitely going to be a video that's going to be well over 30 minutes. So if you have any questions, if I left something out, I know I left a few things out, feel free to leave them down below. But yeah, what I'm showing in today's video is just the tip of the iceberg. I have so much more product that I could have featured, but I kept it at the products that I use every single time I do a client. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you find it helpful. And if you would like me to do more videos in the future on how to build your professional kit, on how to get started in makeup artistry, let me know and I can do that as well. So let's go ahead and get into this very long, detailed video. All right, so let's start out with sanitization because that's something I actually get questions about a lot, and it's something I was curious about when I started doing makeup as well. So to cleanse my actual brushes in between clients, I just use the MAC brush cleanser, and this is basically a quick cleanser. You will pour onto a napkin or paper towel, and then you just sweep your brushes over, and this sanitizes your brushes for the time being. So before you actually have time to go in and shampoo them. So this is kind of like my best friend on weekends when I have all day weddings and I'm going from client to client. It's just a really great way to cleanse your brushes super fast. Now, to shampoo my brushes, I just use the Real Techniques brush shampoo. It's affordable and it's effective. I actually have my brushes in there drying. I just washed them before this video, but this is what I primarily use to disinfect in between clients. Now, I get a lot of questions asking how I disinfect lip products, like lip pencils especially. And this is basically a 97-cent travel bottle, spray bottle that you can find at Walmart, Walgreens, Target, wherever basically in the travel section. And what I've done is I have created a half and half mixture. So half of this is 70% alcohol, half of it is water. So it's basically a diluted mixture of alcohol and water, or you could just use the lower grade alcohol, like the 50% alcohol, if you didn't want to mix. I just do this because I find that it's not as how should I say, it doesn't make the product smell too chemically or alcohol, scented. You get what I'm trying to say. There's enough alcohol in here to disinfect products. So basically what I do is I take a cotton round and I will spritz the alcohol mixture onto a cotton cotton round, and then I will sharpen the excess product off of a lip pencil, and then I will basically just rub the lip pencil into the actual cotton round. And so that's how I disinfect lip pencils. You cannot use this mixture for powders that will destroy your pressed powders. So what you need to do to disinfect those is you simply just take a dry cotton round and you just swirl the top of your compact or your pressed powder, and you take the top layer off that you've been using on your previous client. And that's basically the best way, to my knowledge, to actually disinfect powders without destroying them. Now for mascara, I use disposable mascara wands, and for actual bullet lipsticks, I have a MAC stainless steel artist palette, and I use a lip brush. So I'll basically scrape whatever lip color I want to use or mix onto this palette, and I work directly from the palette. I never cross-contaminate my bullet lipsticks, so I really don't have to worry about using this mixture on them. However, you could do that if you had to. It really would not damage the lipstick as long as you got the excess product off. So as far as sanitization goes, I think that is everything. I keep a little mini hand sanitizer in here, obviously to sanitize my hands in between clients as well. So I think that is it for sanitization. So now let's move on to prep work. So most of my clients come to me with a bare face, but occasionally I will have someone that comes to me with a full face of makeup on. So in that case, I do keep a little travel cleanser in here. This is just the First Day Beauty cleanser. I generally don't have to use this. Most people come to me without makeup on, but you always want to be prepared to have something to remove the makeup. I also have a little bottle of remover in here just for eye makeup. This is the Sephora one, and I use this for my own personal needs as well, in case I need to remove something off the eyes. And then I also use the MAC makeup wipes just to kind of, these are actually really refreshing wipes. If somebody comes in and they just have like a little bit of powder on and they don't necessarily need to cleanse their skin, these are really good wipes for that, because they leave the skin feeling fresh and they don't have like a sticky residue. So as far as makeup removal goes, if somebody does have some makeup on, that is what I use. So moving into prep work, so that basically means hydrating the skin and getting it ready for the makeup. I use a few different products. So my main product that I love using is the MAC Strobe Cream. And this is basically a moisturizer that has a reflective property in it, and it just looks so amazing underneath makeup. It makes your skin look really luminous. However, this isn't really the best option for oily clients out there. So for the oily skin gals, I keep the Clinique Dramatically Different moisturizer in here. This one is really lightweight, and personally I think it's great for combination oily skin. So I use this if I detect that somebody has just a little bit of excess oil. Regardless if someone's oily or not, you need to moisturize and prep their skin. So those are my two primary moisturizers. I also keep the Makeup Forever HD Skin Booster in here, and this is basically a serum that plumps the skin and also gets it ready for makeup. So if somebody is extra dry and I know I'm going to be using quite a bit of makeup, like if they want a fuller coverage look, I'll just use this as a bonus product to hydrate the skin. MAC Fix Plus is obviously a classic product to prep the skin. I will use this. I don't use this on every single client, but if I just haven't used a ton of moisturizer, or if I feel like somebody's skin is just more on the normal side, I may just mist with a little bit of the MAC Fix Plus. Now this product, it's also from MAC. It's a newer product that I discovered this past year, and a makeup artist from MAC showed me this, and she said she used it in her personal kit. Hi Kenya, if you're watching, she is an awesome makeup artist out of Nashville. So she told me that if you are kind of running low on time and you have to get clients done super quick and you just need an all-in-one product to really soften the skin and get it ready for makeup, this is kind of your product for that. So this is the MAC Marine Bright Formula Softening Lotion Spray. So it's basically a lotion in spray form. So what I'll do is I'll basically just take this and I will spritz it on a little wedge here, which has dropped. in the floor, but I'll spritz it on a little wedge, a little sponge wedge, and I'll just use that to prep their entire skin. And it's kind of like a one and done product. It really does soften the skin and hydrate it. And so that's just something that is really great to use if you are short on time and you really need to work fast with your client. All right, so now getting into the fun stuff, we're actually gonna get into the makeup. I'm gonna start out with my primers. So I have used a multitude of primers in my kit throughout the past few years. I kind of swap them out every now and then. Currently, I'm using the Smashbox primers. So I guess I could sit these up where you can see them a little bit better. I have, let's see, I have 5, but the other one is the Peach Smashbox primer, and I don't ever use it. I don't like the formula of it, but I have the original photo finish, the light photo finish, the hydrating, and the correcting, and these are basically the 4 that I use, and I really like these because there's kind of one for everyone. Now Smashbox did send me these and that's why I have all of them, and I'm really fortunate for that, but I would say that over 80% of my kit was purchased by me. I have been doing makeup long before I received PR, but these products were sent to me by Smashbox, and I really do like them. This is kind of like your classic silicone primer. This one's a little bit more lightweight. I love the hydrating one. I use that one a lot. And then if someone has some redness, I will use the corrective green primer. So that's pretty much it for primer. For actual correctors, I will use correctors before I go in with any type of foundation. And I don't have to use these too often, but when I do, I love using these. These are kind of unsung heroes of the makeup world, and they are the Becca correctors. So let me see if I can get a little better view on this. So this is basically a cream corrector, and the purple one, this violet one, it just brightens the skin so flippin' much, you guys. I mean, I have had several clients that their skin is a little sallow or it looks really dull, and this product just brightens up the skin immediately. It does not interfere with foundation underneath. I absolutely love it. Obviously the peach one is going to be for your dark circles or any type of really dark pigmentation, and then the pistachio here again for any type of extreme redness. I use this around the nose sometimes. So these are kind of like my priming products, the things that I go in with before actual foundation. All right, so this is my favorite part, foundations. I keep 4 exclusive foundation formulas in my kit, minus my powder foundations, which I will show you guys in a minute. So basically I keep 4 exclusive liquid foundations in my kit, and these are just the ones that I have used the most. Some of these have been with me since I've been doing makeup for the past 6-7 years, and I'm going to explain to you why I prefer each of them. Before I do that, I want to mention these are not all the shades that I own in my kit. I keep at least 15 shades in each of these formulas. Maybe not 15 in face and body, because I don't even know if there's 15 colors in that range, but most of the face and body shades I have. And if you guys want me to do a video on building your kit, and especially building your foundation colors, because that can be really hard to do, let me know and I can do that for you. If you are going with MAC, my biggest advice is always purchase the lightest and the darkest color in whatever formula you are going for, and then purchase every shade in between if you can. Just, you know, start out with as much as you can afford, or as much as you can purchase, but you don't have to buy every single color in every single range. You can definitely mix your shades, and I can get a little bit more into depth with that in another video if you'd like me to. But for now, let's start out with my most favorite foundation formula to use on someone, and that is MAC's Face and Body. So Face and Body is a waterproof sheer to light coverage foundation. You will find this in a lot of makeup artist kits, and it is just such a beautiful skin-like finish foundation. Unfortunately, it does not work for everyone, because a lot of people prefer that really heavy full flawless look, or full coverage flawless look. This foundation is not for that. This foundation is going to be great for people who have barely any imperfections, clients who are models, who are going to be doing more editorial close-up shoots. Just really fresh looking skin is what this foundation is going to be for. But I will say it mixes pretty well with other foundation formulas. If you did want to create more of a custom foundation mix, I have mixed this with several of my other formulas and I think it looks phenomenal. So some people are going to ask, I know, about this white, oh, whoops. I know some people will ask about the white face and body. The white face and body is basically a pro product, and this is something that I just use to custom mix colors. If I feel like I can't get the exact color in my face and body ranges, or if I feel like I need to lighten the color, I will use the white face and body. But this is also really good for costume makeup as well, stage costume makeup. Next formula is the complete opposite from face and body, and it is MAC's Studio Fix Fluid Foundation. A lot of you guys are probably familiar with this foundation because it is an OG product of MAC's. So many people used to use this back in the day, and I have to be honest, there is a reason why. So this foundation is for my combination oily gals who really need good coverage. This foundation is a medium to full coverage, and I'm not gonna lie, it stays on the skin really well. It has more of a semi-matte finish to it, which is another reason why I choose to use it on people who are a little bit more in that combination oily gap. And I use this a lot of times, surprisingly, for bridal foundation. I sometimes custom mix with other foundations, but if a bride does have problems with foundation staying on, this is a formula that I will use just because in my experience, it stays on really nicely. It keeps more of that softer matte finish. And they don't end up looking like a grease ball by the end of their day. So this is a formula specifically that I use for, like I said, that particular skin type. Now you guys know, one of my all-time favorites is my Makeup Forever Ultra HD, and I actually keep the liquid and the stick formula in my kit. So this is the foundation I actually used on my wedding day, and I keep this in here for a reason. Because it is very skin-like, very similar to MAC Face and Body. However, this one is gonna give you more coverage. So it's almost like a second skin, just with a little bit more coverage. It was designed for 4K resolution. I know a lot of you guys know that. And this is kind of like, how should I say, just my go-to foundation if someone is just, you know, not really oily, not really super dry, just kind of in that normal range. But I will say it's kind of good for all skin types. At least the liquid version is. The stick I would prefer to use more on dry skin gals. But yeah, this is just one formula that I feel like cannot be beat. And I mean, I would say it's a toss-up for what I use on brides the most. Anytime I can get away with using this on a bride, I will. But like I said, if a bride is a little bit more on the oily side, this Studio Fix normally takes care of that a little bit better. So these are my foundation formulas. I hope I did not spend too much time on them. And if you have any questions about them that I did not touch on, just feel free to leave them down below. Moving into concealers, my most used concealer formula is actually the MAC Pro Conceal and Correct palettes. I think they make 5 shades in these palettes. I have 3 of them. So this is the medium palette right here. My most used one is the light palette, and especially the corrector down at the bottom, the yellow one. Oh my gosh, this looks amazing to brighten up the skin. The formula of these concealers alone are just, in my opinion, a makeup artist's dream. I absolutely love them. And then I have the medium deep palette as well. So formula on these, they give a nice light medium coverage to the skin. I may basically use these for the under eye area. I use these for the under eye area because they're really emollient and they don't look dry or crepey. and they just, I don't know, something about them is like a second skin. I really do believe in these palettes 100%. The formula is amazing, and each one of them has 4 concealers and 2 correctors in them. So obviously the correctors are going to vary depending on the actual palette shade or the palette color. But I absolutely love these. They are phenomenal. My second most used concealer formula, and this really isn't even a concealer, it's more of a brightener. These are the MAC Prep and Prime pens, and I have them in Light Boost, which is more of the yellow formula. I have Rose Radiance, which is more of the pink formula. And then, what is this one called? This is just called Dark. And so this is what I use for more tan to deep skin tones. And it's actually a really good peach corrector as well. I freaking love these alongside of Face and Body. Again, if I can just get away with using the Prep and Prime highlighters with Face and Body, the skin looks phenomenal. I absolutely love it. And yeah, I just love these for brightening up the face. And I also use them as concealer sometimes. If somebody just does not need a lot of concealer or just really doesn't need the Pro Concealer palette, I'll just go in with a little bit of these, and it just really brightens up the face. So those would definitely be my second most used. Coming in third is MAC Select Cover Up. And MAC Select Cover Up is a pretty high coverage formula, and it's high coverage without being drying. It's a very hydrating, high coverage concealer. So I use this a lot of the times for blemishes, or if a bride or client wants that really kind of heavy highlighted under eye look. This is a concealer that is really good for that. So kind of more of a higher coverage concealer. And then surprisingly, I keep Ultra HD concealer in my kit, but you know what? The concealer palettes really, for some reason, I really like using Ultra HD on myself, but on other people, I think the concealer palettes, the Pro Concealer palettes from MAC, are a little bit more convenient, and they look just as good. I hate to say it. They don't have as much coverage as Ultra HD concealer. So that's why I keep Ultra HD concealer in here. Sometimes if I just use the Ultra HD foundation, I'll go ahead and just use this concealer alongside of it. So those are the primary concealers that I keep in my kit. Moving into powders, I keep several of the Bare Minerals Original Powder Foundations in my kit, and I keep these in here specifically for kind of like my younger clients. If I have a client that is preteen, that's maybe just in a wedding, or mom just wants me to do makeup, you know, for like a formal or a dance, I keep these in here because A, they are natural and they look natural on skin. B, you know, you don't really need to load up the preteens or someone who is really sensitive to specific formulas with a crap ton of liquid. So I keep those in here basically for that reason, or just for my really natural folks out there. I also keep Bare Pro in my kit. Now Bare Pro I do not like by itself, but I really like it on top of liquid. And I kind of personally thought that this was going to be too much on top of liquid, but I just started experimenting with it on top of especially Studio Fix, and it just looks great. It looks flawless. It really locks the foundation in place. Keeps it from separating. So I keep several of the Bare Pro shades in my kit to set the skin. Now my most used powder is definitely the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural, and these are MAC's baked powders, and I just use these because they set the face really nicely, but they don't look cakey because they are that soft baked formula. They're very similar to the Lorac Perfection powders that I really like, except these are a little bit more lightweight. They don't give as much coverage, and they're just a little bit more lighter weight overall in formula. So I keep several of these in my kit, and I really do prefer these as far as like setting the skin with most of my foundations. So MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural, Bare Minerals Bare Pro, and Bare Minerals Original are the 3 that I use primarily for setting the actual face. Now for under eye area, obviously I keep Laura Mercier translucent powder in here. I don't always use this to set the under eye area. Sometimes I will just use a lighter like baked powder from MAC, a mineralized skin finish like this. Sometimes I'll just use that. And I also have the MAC, what are these called? There's the Sculpting and Highlighting Pro Powders from MAC. I know this one is called Emphasize. I can't remember, or maybe this one's Emphasize. Hold on. Okay, I was right. This one is Emphasize and this one is Accentuate. And these are basically just MAC Pro Powders that are used primarily to set the under eye area. This one is really, really bright. Like, I'm talking, if you combine this with the yellow corrector that comes in the concealer palettes, you are gonna have an out of this world under eye highlighted area. And I just keep these in here. Mainly, I find that I use this one on really fair skin. And that's just because it is so bright. Sometimes it's hard to get that brightened effect on really, really fair skin. So this powder does a great job of doing that. And this one I obviously would use on more of a tan skin tone. So yeah, that's the powder rundown, I believe, for all setting powders, under eye powders. They serve me well. If I could pick any just face setting powder out of all of these, I would definitely say probably just the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural, because they set well, they're not really detectable on the skin, and they come in a multitude of colors. So for highlighter, recently I have been using the Smashbox Casey Holmes highlighters. These were also sent to me from Smashbox, and I have really been liking this pearl one here. I just decided to put these in my kit because I needed an update on highlighters, and these had a good color selection. Obviously there's two of them. This one's more of the cooler tone one. It's called Pearl, and then I haven't really used this one much yet. It's the golden version. What is this one called? Smashbox Casey Holmes palette in gold. I'm so professional here. But that's what I currently have in my kit as a primary highlighter. Now I do also keep the trusty Becca Opal in here. That's always a classic one. And then surprisingly, I do use these quite a bit. They're just a little bit harder to work with, and it's the MAC Pro Fusion highlighters. This one is obviously in the gold shade. It's in shade number 2, and then they also have this lighter one which is more of a pinky shell opalescent color. These look really nice. They're just a little bit more subtle. They don't give that high impact like the other two do, but I do like them, especially for really natural looks. Alright, bronzer, contour, and blush. I basically keep these 4 products in here, and they have been in here for quite some time now, and they never let me down. So contour, the trusty old Anastasia powder contour kit. I do not do a lot of cream contouring. It's just not really my style. Not a lot of my clients ask for it. So this palette serves me well. I mean, I've only had to replace the little guys in here, not all of them. I think I've just had to replace mainly the fawn shade and this warmer shade up here, but it served me well. It does the job of contouring, and then to actually bronze the skin, I use trusty Bare Minerals Warmth. And that is just what I have always used, and it does the job well for me. I love the way it looks on clients, so that's what I've stuck with. Now, these palettes are kind of newbies. I've had them for over a year now, and I really do like them. So these are the Morphe blush palettes in 9N and 9B. I use 9N primarily. This is the 9N palette, and honestly, this is the only thing from Morphe I feel like I have ever enjoyed other than a couple of their brushes. The shades in here are just so great. They're just really versatile. There's kind of a selection for everyone in here, and I really appreciate these 3 shades right here. I love these right here. This shade right here, very similar to MAC Sunbask. a lot of these shades, in my opinion, favor MAC blushes. So this was a very affordable palette, and it's definitely something I would suggest looking into if you need to invest in blush palettes. I also have the 9B palette, which is going to be for my darker skin gals, and I love the red down here. It reminds me of MAC's Frankly Scarlet or NARS's Exhibit A. There's a nice little fuchsia pink in here as well. Now, some of the shades in here are pretty wearable. Actually, I mean, most of the shades in here are pretty wearable, minus about probably these four right here are the brightest, but I want to say these palettes were, with like a discount code, maybe $12 at the most. And they work nicely. I really enjoy them. I don't have any problems out of them, and yeah, I'm sticking with them. For eyeshadow palettes, I first have to give a major shout out to Lorac Pro 1, 2, and 3. So these were basically the only eyeshadow palettes in my kit for a long time, and probably only the 1 and 2, because the third one didn't come out until like what, 2 years ago. And so these were the palettes that the only eyeshadows I had in my kit for a really long time. And you know what? I would still have it that way today if I didn't have even the other stuff in here, because I feel like these two palettes really do serve every single look that you could possibly want, minus something that is really ultra shimmery, ultra glittery, which I will show you what I use for that purpose. But yeah, the shades in both of these palettes, you got your warmer one and then you've got your cooler one. And I worked from these for a really long time until the third one came out, and of course I had to get it, and I absolutely love the third one. I probably used it honestly more than the second one, but if you just need to kind of invest in some really nice palettes, I love the Lorac Pro ones. I mean, I like Urban Decay's Naked palettes, but something about the Lorac Pro formula I really enjoy. And so these were the three that I had for a really long time. Now let me show you a few others that I also keep in my kit as well. So I have a few more palettes now. I have Naked 3, which honestly I hardly ever use. It was something that was in my personal collection for a long time, and I just did not use it, so I transferred it over to my kit. Honestly, I don't use it that much on clients. Urban Decay recently sent me all three of the Naked palettes, and I just personally did not need the Naked 2, so I moved it over into my Pro kit. I actually just used it for the first time on a wedding this past weekend, and it really served me well. I used a lot of shades on it, or a lot of shades from it on several bridesmaids, so I would definitely say that I will probably start reaching for this maybe a little bit more. And then Too Faced Sweet Peach palette was sent to me by Too Faced, and again, it's just one that I don't personally reach for a lot, but I have found that several of these shades I have been using on clients recently, especially since it's summertime, and a lot of clients want that really warm look. So I have been using this palette quite a bit, but honestly, I reach for it. Like, if I did not have these three palettes right here, I would be lost. I almost, like 90% of the time, I will reach for these over those. So let's talk pigments. So when I was mentioning earlier that the Pro palettes were great except for that high shine glitter effect, this is where pigments are going to come into place. I think everyone should have some really nice loose pigment shadows. I have a few here. Most of mine are the MAC pigments, but I also have a couple from Bare Minerals and Makeup Geek that I use a lot. So from Makeup Geek, I use Afterglow and New Year's Eve a lot. Let me move this. What the hell am I doing? So Afterglow and New Year's Eve are two amazingly just stunning loose pigments from Makeup Geek. I use Afterglow primarily. It's just a gorgeous beige kind of high shine pigment. Queen Phyllis is one that is from, this one's from Bare Minerals. This is probably Bare Minerals' most popular loose eyeshadow, and it's just stunning. It's like this vanilla cream sparkle city. It is so amazing on the lids. It's also amazing on all skin types. So for a long time, I kind of just had Bare Minerals and Makeup Geek pigments, and then I kind of started getting into the MAC pigments. Now, I'll be honest, MAC pigments are not my favorite. They are not as, how should I say, they're not as intense as the Makeup Geek and Bare Minerals loose eyeshadows are. They're a little bit more of like this, more like a flatter pigment, if that makes sense. But I still use them, especially there's two that I use quite a bit. One being Vanilla. This is also a really pretty face highlight for fair skin. I love using Vanilla on the inner corner. And then I also love using Tan, which is this one right here. Oh my gosh. This looks amazing on tan skin, first of all, but it's just kind of one of those shades that you can apply and you don't have to apply anything else with it, and it always looks stunning. So that's another one that I like using. Blonde's Gold is one that looks really nice on tan skin as well. It's a really light gold. And then Rose, this is, I think it's called Rose. Yeah, Rose. Oh, this is like a duochrome pink shade. It's got some gold in there. Oh, it's so beautiful, again, especially on tan skin. And then Melon. So Melon is, again, another duochrome. It has kind of like this gold yellow reflex to it. It's a really neat pigment, and these are just some of my most popular ones. I keep several more in my kit, but these bad boys are the ones that I use the most. All right, so now we're kind of getting down to the last little part, the nitty-gritty part, lips, brows, and eyes. So I'm gonna start out with, I guess, eyes. I keep waterproof mascara in my kit, and that is pretty much it. This is the MAC False Lashes waterproof mascara. I use disposable mascara wands with my mascara tubes, so it really doesn't matter which mascara I have because I never actually use the brush. But this is just the one I currently have in my kit. For eyeshadow primer, I use Soft Ochre from MAC, and occasionally I will use the Urban Decay one. I also have that in my kit. For gel liner, I use the Maybelline Studio liners. I have black and brown here, and those are basically all that I ever need. They're the primary eyeliners that I use on most people. And then I also really enjoy the MAC Pro Longwear liners. So this is what they look like. I have a classic brown, I have a black, and then I have kind of like an eggplant shade. So those last really long on the eyes, and they're really creamy and easy to apply. I also just have a few random Smashbox shades. I have all of these in my kit. Smashbox did send me these, and I really like the formula. They're super creamy and easy to work with, but I just don't necessarily reach for the shades that often. There are pretty colorful shades in this range, and there's only like one black and one brown, and that's what I primarily use doing makeup. But I want to say that I do enjoy the formula of these liners. For brows, I just use powder. It would do me some good to actually invest in the Anastasia Pro Brow Palette, the one that has all the shades in it. I just have never done that. Honestly, this little guy from MAC, this little duo here, fits most of the girls that I do makeup for, and I will have to pop this out. Again, I always forget the shades in here. I'll just put the names down below here. But these are the two that I use for filling in brows the most. Now, I do have some baked brow duos from a random company. I think this was when European Wax Center came out with their own brow line. This was the baked powders from that line, and honestly I really like them because they're natural and they're easy to correct. Like if you go outside of the actual arch or the shape of the brow, they're super easy to correct. I prefer powders for my brow or for brow products on clients. I do keep Anastasia Dip Brow in my kit just in case I need to actually legit draw on some brows, but for the most part I only I just use powder. So the bag you see over here is actually full of lip products. That is what I keep all of my lip products in, but I just decided to pull out my most popular ones to show you guys because that entire bag is filled to the brim. So I keep Vaseline in, lip Vaseline in my kit to moisturize lips. I also have the Makeup Forever. This is the lip booster serum. So I use both of those to hydrate clients' lips. And then the majority of my lipsticks are MAC. I just prefer MAC lipstick formula. It's phenomenal. There's such a variety of shades. So I have a few of my most popular shades here. This one is kind of sexy. It's a really nice, I guess I could swatch these for you guys. This is kind of like a really nice soft peach shade. Really great for summertime looks. This one is Shy Shine. It's kind of like a classic neutral. A lot of brides like this because it's a pretty sheer pink, just kind of like your natural lip color but better. And then we've got Hue. I love using Hue. This is a really pale, kind of like a pink coral. I love using Hue for bridal lipstick with like a darker lip liner underneath. And then we have Midi Mauve, and this is, gosh, I'm running out of room to like swatch here. Midi Mauve is very similar to Syrup from MAC. It's more of that soft berry tone. It's like a mauve shade, just like a really soft mauve color. And then we've got Fanfare. Fanfare isn't one that I use too often, but I absolutely love using it. It's a really warm, how should I say? It's like a warm coral, like a warm dark coral. Is that like a good description of it? I don't know. I'm not good at describing, but I really enjoy it. Okay, last three. Bottom one is Velvet Teddy. We all know it's a nice neutral kind of nude brown. Middle shade is Modesty. This is my #1 bridal lipstick. Every single bride wants to wear this. When I put this in a lineup and ask brides which lipstick she likes out of all the ones that I swatched, this one always gets picked. And honestly, I contemplated wearing it on my wedding day as well. It's just a great neutral shade. And then the top one is Pink Plaid. So this is for my pink lovers out there. It's a really cool tone pink, but it's just kind of like that nice in-between pink. It's not hot pink, but it's not like this boring pale pink. I think it's a really nice shade. So those are three of my three. Those are like what? How many did I do? 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 of like my most popular bullet lipsticks. Now I also keep the MAC Pro lip palettes in my kit, and these are really nice as well. This is the which one is this? The browns? Yeah, 6 Modern Browns. It's got peach stock, half and half. I think this one's bronze. This one is, let me look here, Fresh Brew, and then you have Taupe and Paramount. So love those. And then I also have the pinks too. This is called 6 Preferred Pinks. I have no clue what the shades are, so I'm gonna have to look here. Pretty Please, Please Me, Love Lorne, Creme de la Femme, Show Orchid, and Violetta. So that is what that looks like. Don't really use these two down here all that much, but these 4 right here are really nice. Oh gosh. All right, we are almost done. Lip pencils are pretty much split half and half, Urban Decay and MAC. Some of my popular MAC ones are Whirl, Spice, Boldly Bare. Boldly Bare is like my most popular lip liner. I use it. It just matches everything. And then we have Edge to Edge, which is a pink, and Strip Down, which we all know is just like a classic brown. And then in Urban Decay, I have Midnight Cowboy, Wicked, and this is an old school naked pencil. It is not naked. Let me show you what it looks like. That's not naked. I don't know what they were thinking, like why they called this pencil naked. It doesn't even look like the actual naked lipstick, but I like it because it goes really well with those browns. So yeah, these are just kind of my popular ones. Oh, and NYX Beige. NYX Beige is awesome, you guys. I love it. It's such a great natural soft lip liner. Oh, it's a great one. So yeah, it's just kind of split half and half there. Last but not least is lip glosses, and I honestly don't use a ton. Well, okay, I like using gloss, but let me explain. This gloss right here is really all a person would ever need in their kit. It's just the MAC Clear Lip Glass. And the reason I say that is because after a while, once you've gotten your lip concoctions down that you like to use on people, you don't really like to alter those with colored lip glosses. It's just really easy and kind of simplified to just use a clear gloss. And so I use the MAC Clear Lip Glass more than anything. But I thought I'd show you a few of my other favorites. I love Buxom. This one is called Bellini. It's like a really pale peach, so I like using that with nudes. And then I also have Cultured from MAC, which is like a soft kind of pearly pink. I like using this by itself actually. And then we've got Angel from MAC, and Angel is another lipstick that I use a lot on clients, but I don't know why I didn't swatch it. Oh well, you know now. And I like using this again with like a soft pink lip liner underneath. And then this is Fleur Abundance, and Fleur Abundance is very similar to that Bellini shade. It's just got a little bit more pigment to it. And last but not least is NARS Orgasm, and I like using NARS Orgasm underneath that NYX Beige lip liner. Oh, it looks so good. So yeah, that is it for lips, and I think that's it for everything other than like setting and finishing sprays. Urban Decay All Nighter is basically what I keep. I have like 3 bottles of this, and it's just what I've always used, and it's what I prefer. So yeah, I think that concludes most of my kit. Okay, I forgot to mention lashes. So I use House of Lashes Lash Glue. It is my tried and true. I absolutely love it. I would recommend it over any other lash glue I've ever tried. And then as far as lashes go, I keep Demi Wispies from various brands. I have Ardell. Salon Perfect makes a really great multi-pack that's affordable, that looks just like the regular Ardell Demi Wispies. I also really enjoy Kiss 01 lashes. These are really full, thick, long lashes. These also come in a multi-pack. You can find these at Walgreens. And then I always keep some individuals in my kit and some trio lashes. So those are kind of like primary lashes. I have some more extravagant ones, but I just don't really use those that often. All right, guys, I am officially dying. I am out of breath. I feel like I have talked and talked and talked, probably because I have talked and talked and talked. But I hope you enjoyed. I've just had so many requests for this video, and since I had my kit at home, I just thought this would be the easiest time to film and share with you guys. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to see more videos talking about, you know, how to build your kit, how to get started in makeup artistry, let me know down below and I can definitely do that for you. But I just wanted to get this video up first because it's been the most requested. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.